Hi, it's me, it's Omer. If you're here, first of all, that's everything to me. Thank you so much, just for taking that little step. If you know me, if you don't know me, that's, doesn't matter. Just thank you for taking that step and helping me, achieve this dream. The podcast you're about to hear is an hour plus with Tomtsu, the only members that show up, an extremely talented band, and a great group of friends. So that being said, I just listened to it for the first time. I brought myself to listen to it for the first time. I have a terrible, terrible, terrible fear of hearing my own voice. It just sounds really weird to me. So I just heard it for the first time, all the way through, and I really hope you guys like it. And I think you will. Just want to shout out the following words. I said these words way too many times. Way too many times during the podcast, during the hour. The word homies, hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Kinda sick, weird, chill, dog, and dude. So all those words, I am just like, you'll see. I'm saying sorry ahead of time. And just a big thanks to everyone again for listening, and everyone who I've talked to has helped me with this over the past couple months. This is a big moment for me, and just thank you so much to all of you, to Tomtsu, to my family, to this sounds like an Oscar speech, and yeah, enjoy. Wait, I forgot something. I'm sorry. There will be at the top of, I'll say this at the end too, but at the top of the description of the YouTube video, and also somewhere on the Souncloud page, there will be a submission. It is called Tell Me Something Good. After listening to the podcast, you'll see what the whole idea behind Tell Me Something Good is about, if you don't already know. So the idea is that you just fill in, you just write something. It's a Google form, open submission, like open response. And the idea is that you write something good. Super simple, super easy. You don't have to. No one's forcing you to. And all it is just write something good about anything. Really, really anything, as long as it's positive. And I will be talking about some of them on the next podcast. Just me reacting to them and just being super happy, because I want to talk about spreading, Tell Me Something Good and on the podcast, and you'll see, but or you'll hear. Sorry, I do think it's important to spread that out. So if you would like a shout out, just write write whatever you want to write, and then write write like the word cool, or write the word I'm not sure, just write something, just to let me know that you're okay with me saying it, like sending it out there to the people anonymously or not anonymously if you don't want to. The idea is, like, if you fill it in and you don't write anything else, it'll be completely anonymous. I won't share it. I just want it for my personal, making me happy. So you'll understand. Most of what I just said won't make sense to 90% of you until you listen throughout to the whole podcast, and just seeing what Tell Me Something Good is about. So without further ado, and I hope I didn't forget anything, without further ado, episode 1, Tell Me Something Good. Hey, so my name is Omer, or Omer, or Omar if you want to pronounce it like a little bit wrong, but that's fine. And by now, like, you probably already heard the intro part that I put in, voice crack, which I probably put in after we went inside, which means that we are outside. Yeah, it's 10:24 on Saturday, September 21st, 2019. It's also in the song that's like, do you remember 21st night, September? That is today. So today, in addition to being just that day, it's also National Dance Day, National Chai Day, which I'll move a little closer. You guys can hear the... That's a slurp of a nice chai tea on 2 days before the first day of fall. Also, National Pecan Cookie Day. Pecan. National New York Day, National Gymnastics Day, Big Whopper Liar Day, no connection to Burger King, Boys and Girls Club Day for kids, so good volunteering, Puppy Mill Awareness Day for all the MSPCA homies, Responsible Dog Ownership Day, National Singles Day, there's that, National Cleanup Day, National Seat Check Saturday, AKC Responsible Dog Ownership Day. Oh, that's tomorrow. Anyways, given all that, so I'm not alone here. So let's talk about, let's start this off. So there's 4 other people here. So first, envision the 4 people that you'd most want to podcast with. And I'm going to say something a little mushy right now, but that's okay. These 4 people that I have in front of me, or like in a circle with me, are very special to me. A little voice crack, a little puberty. But yeah, very special to me, and I will say, and don't let your egos go up, but the 4 people I'd most want to, the people I chose my first time. Okay, first time. So yeah, let's get an introduction. Actually, we'll do a little exercise. Whoever wants to talk first, we'll just start talking. And if it's 2 people, then we'll figure it out.
Hi, my name is Zach Fisher, and my spirit cereal is Panda Puffs.
Oh, that's mine.
Trader Joe's product. Yes, next.
My name is Max Grossman, and my favorite...
Do you have a middle name, Max?
Oh, yeah, Maxwell Lewis Grossman. My favorite flavor is...
Right.
I am Jackson Payne. If I was an animal, I would not be an animal.
Jackson, you related to Jackson Maine of The Star is Born?
No, man.
All right. Chuka, what about you?
Okay, I'm
Oh, wait, no, I gave her your name. Sorry, Chuka.
I'm Chuka Sturgios, and I don't really have a fact.
I wouldn't ask for a fact. That's what's funny.
I'm showing facts.
Tell your biggest secret.
I don't have one.
That's
You'll
true.
never know.
Chuka puts the milk in before the cereal. Yeah.
Biggest
So,
lie.
Before
Alright,
the speed
sure,
cereal.
whatever. Anyways, does everybody want to talk about where we are right now?
Well, I'd like to say something about milk and cereal.
All right, go ahead.
I have a...
No, a little
I have
off topic.
a little off topic, but it's important. I have a little bit of a friend who, instead of putting the milk in first or the cereal in first, actually likes to
bowl in
separate,
first.
like as in a church and state kind of thing. So he'll take a bite. They will take a bite of cereal, take a swig of milk, call it a day.
So when you say swig,
That's
So,
that's a measurement.
It's a dram.
no, that implies
Dram.
so that implies that it's like from a bottle. So do they drink the milk right out of the bottle?
To be honest, it could be. From
Do
the
they
bottle.
live alone?
No.
Do you know that they do this for a fact?
Yes. Confessed from them.
But what if they're just lying? Like I just said some all right, if I can be perfectly honest,
yeah.
Chuka does not. I don't know that Chuka puts the milk in first. So I just fibbed, right? Would you say this person might fib?
I would say, what intention, like what reason would you have? Like that's not, in any world, that is not a flex.
No.
In any
Sometimes I say stuff just to say stuff. Like for example,
Like let's start a podcast.
Oh.
Oh.
No, for example, at work, I work at a Trader Joe's. I mean,
nice.
everyone who's listening to this knows me. Hopefully, I don't know. Maybe if I've,
We could go viral.
who's we?
You could
You
go
could
viral.
go
Me,
viral.
I get this, all me. Hopefully the idea is that this gets, passed on.
Like-
not unlike a viral disease,
Yeah.
like the EEE that's floating around the park.
Delete.
Oh yeah, sorry. So nobody ever talked about where we are. We're at
The desert.
So what's officially known as the Judge Coolidge Zeppelin, some kind of judge, who I don't know what they did, but definitely a Brookline resident, lived around here somewhere. I think it's called the Coolidge Park officially, but Columbia Park. So you guys know the picnic benches. So we're sitting at those. And it's 10:29 now. So you guys have been listening for 6 minutes? Which is wonderful.
Jesus. Must be bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so the way this is going to work is, first of all, we're going to start with something called Tell Me Something Good, which is, you might have also noticed, and the homies who are sitting around here don't know this yet, but it is the name of the podcast. It's called Tell Me Something Good. So a little background on that.
Your Instagram.
Oh.
So for all my homies that follow me on Instagram, if you guys don't, first of all, what's wrong with you? And you should be put in jail. But also, it's I'll Think About It with underscores in between. It's to play a little bit of a pun on the last name. Yeah, so I put, so we'll get, we'll get to that. So I'm part of a thing called the Israeli Scouts, and it's just like a thing that I go to on Sundays. I'm not gonna get into it, whatever. It's a thing, and my counselor in 8th grade started this thing where every time we'd meet up, we'd just be 30 8th graders or something, and then we'd be, holy moly, I almost burped. And no, so we have all right, we'll get to the burp thing later. But yeah, so then we would sit in a circle, we'd sing this song, and it would go, tell me something good, bum bum bum. If hopefully you're singing along by the third episode. But it's basically everyone goes around in a circle and just says one good thing. And then when I finished 8th grade, I got really sad because I was like, hopefully this sucks because now I can't do it anymore. So then when Instagram added their questions feature, I just put it on there, and I was like, all right, homies, tell me something good. And I just put a nice picture that I took that week and a nice song that I've been listening to. Try to limit the amount of words in the song just so people can sit there, breathe in. And I put it up on Fridays, which besides being a holy day in some religions, is also the end of the the classic American work week. So people, hopefully, the goal is that they stop for a second, listen to some nice music, look at a nice picture, and just pass on a little piece of optimism from that week, or positivity. So then eventually the next question is do people actually say anything? And the answer is yeah, but not enough. Sometimes it'll be people like my siblings or my friend's parents will put something up one time, but it's also people who I don't know just put stuff up there, and I don't think anybody really unless they were in this Israeli Scouts thing, don't really understand why or where it's from until they hear this kind of explanation. So I mean, I get some submissions, probably an average around 10 every week, which is cool because then I finish up, I go there Friday night, I open my Instagram, and there's a couple people passed on some some fun stuff they did that week, and I get all cozy inside, and so it's a good time. So then I was I had this idea one day where I was what if I did a podcast? Because I was listening to a podcast one day. I was like, wait, what if I just do this? So I was just thinking that. And then also someone told me I have the perfect face for radio, which I, so then I bought a mic without telling, and it was I saved up, I had my birthday money from my wonderful grandmothers, plural, because they both chipped in, and so I had some money saved up, bought a mic, blue Yeti mic. You guys can look that up. In all black. It looks pretty sick. And then that kind of left me in a position where I couldn't. Where I couldn't really go back, because then I spent a kind of a stupid amount of money on this mic, so I couldn't really do anything else but use it. So this all went down probably June 2017, so like 2 years ago. And here we are in September 2019 recording the first podcast in hopefully a series. If you guys enjoy it, if you guys kind of like to like this kind of thing, so hopefully that'll last. So that's a story between me and how I got the podcast and why it's called this. Extra little shout out to Yael Greenberg for making the cover art that you're seeing on the screen, hopefully. Super nice thing. I bought it from her to help pay for a surfboard that she wanted to get. So she drew it for me. She wrote me a wonderful poem that I'll read one time for you guys. But yeah, just want to start off by saying thank you to everyone for tuning in and for just, taking a little bit out of your day to listen to some positivity. And we will also get to 1 minute of just kind of not super positivity. We'll get there. So that being said, the way this is going to work is we are going to have segments inspired by a podcast called the Ross Bolin Podcast. So super, super cool. Go check that out if you like segments and there's a rabbit on the street. It's the power of being outdoors, the power of Home Depot.
It is.
So let's talk about
Don't catch it.
one thing. Don't catch. No, catching rabbits is rabbits. All right.
We had a little spider friend over here.
A spider. What
Yeah.
kind? Can you identify?
I was really
it?
brave.
Daddy
It's
Big
kind of
legs.
brown.
Is it still there?
I don't know if it's still here.
No, I think I got rid of it.
No, it's
but I
gone.
think
No, it's gone.
Alright, anyways.
So cool. So I just want to talk about leaves. First topic. What's your favorite type of leaf? This is and we're high schoolers. The first thing that's gonna jump into mind is a certain type of contraband, but
Oh,
that's
come on.
not. Obviously
Oh,
no. We're
come
good
on.
kids.
No.
Just because we're musicians.
Wait, I have one.
So yeah, Chuko wants to talk about it. Yeah.
Okay.
There's another rabbit, sorry.
Oh my god. Okay, well, I've always liked willow trees from when I was younger, because I live near Griggs, and I used to try to grab onto it and fly like Tarzan, so I really like the tiny little leaves from willow trees.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I'd never realized that willows have leaves. And that's
They're
the
like
stupidest
tiny.
thing ever. But I always just see a willow tree as a collective, Like it's kind of like
But it's each
flowing.
one together. I don't know.
That is
I like
beautiful.
it.
That is amazing.
I think
I want to marry that thought right there.
I think my favorite leaves are the first leaves of fall, and they're real red and crispy.
I was gonna say that, man.
And you step on them, and they give a nice little crunch, and they have a certain smell to them. It's just fire.
I think the crisp and the crunch are definitely two different things. I think the red you get a little bit of crisp. The orange and the yellow is usually yellow. I don't know why. Yellow leaves have a high probability of being wet. You ever step on a do you know what I'm talking about?
You're right,
Yellow
you're
leaves
right.
are just wet most of the time. So, but sometimes I want to talk about brown leaves, and these are just
The crunchy
I don't know.
They're crunchy.
Varied locations are being I want to shout out the many locations that people are hopefully listening to this from. But no, I mean around Brookline you get a lot of brown leaves around probably October, November. And they find their way to the curb or the sidewalk, and you step on them, and you get that crunch, and it's satisfying. But the crisp is a little underrated, I think. The crisp is something you can kind of break apart with your hand.
Yeah, they're
Right.
walking their cat.
There's people walking a cat. This is just like Columbia Street
Yeah, really.
after dark.
All right, can I say my leaves?
Yes.
I actually have a couple answers. I mean, I really love the fall ones.
Yeah.
You can see the changing of the seasons. But when you're walking along, and you see that bush, and it's got the leaves, and they're very curved.
Right.
And you put them on your finger, and it's so satisfying to put on your finger. You know what I'm talking about?
Is there like a Latin name of this
I have
thing
no
that
clue,
you can shout
but I
out?
always take them.
Like,
and
what
you can
should people
invert them.
Google? What should people Google to find this?
Like,
Leafus curvus.
yeah, curvy
Leafus
leaves you put your
curvus.
fingers on. And also, I love basil. Basil's great.
Basil? I never think of basil as a leaf.
Yeah,
Like all the
technically it is a
cooking,
leaf.
like
Good.
bay leaves. No,
Oh,
bay
bay
leaves.
leaves.
The thing is, bay leaves. I don't know if it's popular or unpopular. Bay leaves don't like. Why would you put a leaf in your food? It's like real. Like basil's chill because basil's like I see.
Basil's so chill.
I see basil as a spice almost. Like you see
Right,
the like
it
the
is.
leaf
I agree
is
with that,
there,
yeah.
but like it's a spice.
Technically, it's an herb. There is a distinction between
Oh.
herbs and spices.
no herbs and spices.
Yeah.
All right. Shout out if you guys want to listen
Shout out
to
herbs.
to Colt 45 by Afro Man. There's a nice little line about herbs and spices. If you guys want to get there. I'm a big helicopter leaf guy. Like when those
Oh,
things
yeah.
fall,
Oh yeah.
Absolutely,
those things are
Yeah.
sick. Those things are so sick, and they really fall.
Yeah.
And they really fall, and they really like helicopter. You know what I'm saying? And that is that kind of thing where you can like recreate it yourself. You know,
Just
like
not
you're
the
never
same.
gonna get up to like a Forrest Gump level where you're dropping it from like a mile up in the sky and you see it, you know, all the way down, like it would be from a tree or from a Forrest Gump. But I think that is something you can recreate. That kind of thing. Any last thoughts on leaves?
Oh, I didn't say
is
mine.
gonna-
Max.
is gonna
Yeah.
say it.
Gosh, Max the overlooked. Oh wait,
sorry.
all right. After this,
Oh, okay. Well, okay, I gotta say my favorite leaf. Well, I actually have two answers. Because if we're talking about leaves from favorite trees, that's a different thing. I gotta go the leaves from an amaranth tree, right? Because it's got the purple wood.
an amaranth
Yeah,
tree.
Amaranth. Like with a T.
Amaranth.
Yeah. And then
TH.
yeah,
All right.
they have like they're like I think they can be purple too. But favorite leaves, like this is a weird answer, but like red cabbage leaves,
Oh, interesting.
cause
They're pretty.
you can totally use those to like like for a pH indicator, and like you can like
Are those leaves though? Because
I
they
don't-
don't
I
come
think
from a
so.
tree? Do they come from a tree?
does
Do
it
leaves have to
count?
come from
No,
trees?
because vines have leaves too.
Bushes have leaves.
Ivy, everything have ivy.
Explain, buddy.
Flowers have leaves.
Yeah,
Flowers.
I
Those-
I was
I-
thinking
those-
more. Listen, when I wrote this up, I was like, "Yo, maybe we should like focus on tree leaves," but like that's kind of sick.
All right, I mean, if we
I'm
gotta
not
go
hating
through
on.
leaves-
All right, I will hate
I
on
gotta say
cabbage.
maple leaves from maple trees.
Maple leaves are cool.
Yeah.
They're very like when you
Iconic.
see a yeah, they're very
Yeah.
definitely iconic. When you see it, you're like, wait, this is like it's real, like it's for real. Like kind of like
Yeah,
when you
it's
see a
legit.
snowflake, you're like you see the shape of it, and you're like, wow, that's actually like a snowflake shape. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it's legit.
So yeah, that's leaves. Cool. I realized I forgot to talk about who the heck you guys are and why.
Oh.
Well, we said our
Yeah.
names.
No, but like
we're
why?
here.
Who are y'all? You know,
Okay.
it's like who? It's not who are you. It's who are y'all.
Yeah.
So what is that, who wants to talk about what this is? Like who are you guys?
We're in a band.
Yeah, I feel like none of us really know why we're here, besides to
Support our
support our friend,
Yeah.
be part of something bigger than ourselves.
Right.
But we're in a
Also because
little
I paid them.
right. Also, because he bribed us with food,
Which is now
sushi,
Yeah,
and,
we ate
and
it.
Yo,
tea
there's
and stuff.
sushi. Like I
Yeah,
spent
it's actually
real life
fire.
Trader Joe's money
It's all
on that,
gone.
and
But-
it's all gone.
Fancy chocolate.
was the sushi from Trader Joe's?
No,
They have sushi at Trader
they
Joe's.
do, and it's good,
Yeah,
and they're
but
paying
sushi's
me, so I'm
not
saying it's good. Shout out Trader Joe's.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we're in a band called Tomtsu.
TOMTSU.
We're also seniors at Brookline High School, similar to Omer.
similar but not
Similar but not
exactly.
exact.
Is that TMI?
We're all also in his now epic class.
Yeah,
That
in
he
his
just got into.
Senior year English class.
We'll get to that once the epic requirements kick in. But but yeah, that's a class.
Is there any specific aspects of our identity you'd like us to highlight?
Yeah, why are you all like? Why you talked about? I think Jackson said a band during the little gap between my question and Zach saying stuff. what is Tomtsu? Like what?
Oh,
That's
is
like
that
a
a
weird
band?
way to say it, but like
Tomtsu, the only way I can really describe Tomtsu is as a kerfuffle of syncopated individuals.
Right.
That's really all there is to it. It's quite simply a kerfuffle.
Quite simply.
So for all the
Didn't I come
normal
up with
people,
that?
what does that mean?
He came up with that.
Yeah.
You came up with that.
What does that mean?
It means what it means, man. It's English.
We like. I think what makes us unique, versus other bands, is that I don't think we have like a specific thing that defines us, which is a funny, like kind of an oxymoronic, like
Right.
uniqueness. But we have like so many different like people coming together to make this
One thing.
Yeah,
Like, we all listen to completely different music,
for
I feel
sure.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you got the what kind of music do you listen to? I don't even know.
No,
You see what I'm
I
saying?
Like folk.
Do you guys listen to yourselves?
No.
No.
Not at all?
I
sometimes.
don't like my own music.
Sometimes.
Do you ever like? Is it on like your playlist? Like is
I don't
128
know.
on your playlist?
No.
Not really.
No. Do you guys like to hear your own like voice or something? Like,
Well,
do you-
every
Yeah.
sorry.
No, I was just gonna. I think we're gonna say the same thing. But every time I listen to it, I'm like, oh, I could have done this better.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it like kind
For
of
sure,
hurts
for
to
sure.
listen.
Damn. I mean, I personally 128, and we'll talk about 128. But 128's like I have a playlist. If you guys want to follow me on Spotify, it's just my first and last name. But I have a playlist that I can make public. That's just it's called 121 because I made it on January the 21st.
Oh, nice.
I don't know. I was just feeling away that day. So I just made just like songs that I really, really, really like. And so you got White Ferrari on there by Frank Ocean.
The best.
You have Runaway there by Kanye. You have a song called I Must Be in a Good Place Now by Bobby Charles. You have and then you have 128. Just like you have other ones that like have some Bon Iver songs, but you have 128 on there. Which
not.
you guys aren't gonna say this, but I think you guys are super talented. And it's definitely an achievement what you guys have done with that. If you guys don't know, 128 is a song. It's a single off of their debut album, Tomtsu's debut album. And it has did it just pass
It
200?
passed-
Just hit
Yeah.
200.
Just hit
No, I
200.
thought it was 300,000.
No, 350
total.
overall
350,000 overall streams.
Of all of us.
of all of our stuff.
Yeah, which is almost like my last paycheck from Trader Joe's. But yeah, so I mean that's do you guys ever think about the scale of that?
Yeah.
I just never thought it would ever happen.
Yeah.
We have more listens than the artists I listen to. because
Don't say that. You don't wanna hurt their feelings.
They
If you
don't
want to,
listen.
you can
Like,
say their
Plexus,
names.
if you're here, like, I love you, like, let's jam sometime. But,
I feel like it's so hard for us to imagine the scale because like we still be playing shows that have like 20 people at it. So it's like yeah, 200,000 people have heard our song, but it's like we're still jamming out and like playing awesome shows that don't have 200,000 people there.
But
Yeah,
can,
obviously.
like, and I know you guys probably have the data on your like unique number of listeners, but like it's not 200,000 people,
No,
you know.
no.
But
It's like
can-
about half.
all right. Can you guys
we have
imagine 100? All right, let's call it a quarter. Can you guys
Well-
imagine 50? Like I don't even know what that
it
looks like.
says how many
50,000
it says how many monthly listeners.
No, you guys have
we
like I think 12,000
But, like, unique
monthly
Yeah.
listeners,
Does
something around
it,
that.
does it
11,000.
double? Does it count people
It's
more than
crazy
once?
though. If you think
Well,
about
those are
everyone
just heads that
lined
listen
up,
to us every month.
that's just
Yeah, monthly
Yeah.
listeners.
It's
Check that
crazy.
out.
It's no, I think
11,000.
yeah, 11,000 monthly listeners. I mean, to me, that's like I can't imagine that. I don't think the human brain. There's all these
Yeah.
YouTube videos like, oh, why the human brain can't comprehend 1,000 or 1,000,000, and it's just like that. But like I'm a big sports guy, so I always think about it in terms of like number of stadiums. So if you think about the TD Garden's like what 17,000 people. Fenway Park's probably around the same for baseball games. If you 3 full packed stadiums of people have listened to your song, and that's only if we take it at the low number of
Right.
of
That's
50,000. That's ridiculous. That's crazy.
I don't like to flex it though.
Yeah.
I like to flex it. I mean, people, like I'll put, it'll come on in the car, like when I'm like hanging out with like some Israeli people, I'll be like, yo, I like this song has this like X amount of listens, or like did these numbers, or like, you know, and it's like I know these people, like I'm sitting 3 feet away from these people. Zach a little bit closer, but I just need to be in like, you know, pinching distance in case he says something a little crazy.
Want to switch sides, Zach?
Yeah, no, but I think so. That's 128. Beautiful song. Obviously, the vocals from Jackson are. No, I have this running voice. Chuka, of course, the singer. But I have this running joke that Jackson's actually, you know, laying it down, and
She's just
Chuka's
lip syncing.
Chuka's just the poster girl for it. But I think it's a super sick song, and it does have so many different like feelings to it, and you can listen to it in so many different moods, and like definitely go check that out right now. 128. No, it's just 128 the digits on Spotify or on whatever, you know, if you're on Tidal, you know what's going on, but also yeah, just go check that out. So that obviously yeah, that's a huge thing, but it's also the first single off an album. So how did that come to be? Did you guys always think that as a band you were gonna record some albums, or just did you guys think it would just be singles? You ever like, was there ever a doubt? Like, did you guys always know that you were gonna put stuff out? Like, I'm so curious about this process because I think I knew Zach. I actually knew Jackson first.
Yeah, you mean freshman year.
But as I met you guys, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. But like, how'd you guys meet, and what's the origin story? Like, how do we get from 4 individual people to, you know, 350,000 listens on a song, and you know, 130,000 now on Tongue Tied, and yeah, what is that? Max.
Can I take this one?
Yeah.
Alright.
Max,
You don't have
first.
to. Yeah.
I feel
Don't
like
raise
this
your
is a
hand.
I feel like this is a long one.
Yeah.
Alright, so
That's what she said.
So we'll go between these.
I got you. Yeah, we can split it up.
We can
but,
riff raff off each other.
Yeah, what happened essentially was, well, can I tell it from my perspective, or is that
No,
like
tell it from Chuka's perspective. No, obviously.
I used to go to all these like I was pretty involved with the teen center because I had this old band called Pop Rocks. It was pretty weird, and it was just some like middle school friends, not important to the story that much.
This is
But-
like what, 2016 or something, freshman year.
Yeah, it was like before well, we started in 4th grade and we were going
Holy
to
moly.
like freshman or sophomore year. But basically, I would come in because we had gigs at the teen center every so often, and they had a band, Jackson and Zach, called the Crunchy Lemons.
Yep.
Chuka comes in later,
That's a cool name.
yeah. They used to all go to school together. Chuka, Zach, and Jackson. I was not a part of that. Did you go? You didn't go to school with them either.
No, he's at Devo.
Driscoll?
You mean the Coolidge Corner, whatever?
No, Devo.
No, that's Devo. That's Devo.
He went to Devo.
I went to Devo.
But yeah, so anyway, I would come in and help Wes with, or he had
Who's
like these,
Wes?
Oh, Wes, the guy. This is
Sorry, Wes. I'm very sorry. but-
Wesley Kaplan, the wonderful, no names, right?
Well, too
I mean,
late.
he's out there. Shout
bleep-
out Wesley
just bleep it
Kaplan.
out.
Beatrix Cadeau, the lovely gentleman who runs music at the teen center in Brookline. And he would always host these sessions for like kids who wanted to get into audio engineering. And my drum teacher at the time suggested, like, why don't you go to that? Like, I feel like it would be a good opportunity for you. So I would go to those things every so often. And one day, just by chance, like, I was not gonna go. I was like half asleep. And I got an email from Wes, and it was like, you coming in today, man? And I was like, yeah, one sec. And so I went in that day, like, half asleep. And then these guys, Crunchy Lemons was there.
It was just me and Zach, because
Yeah.
we were the only members that showed up.
Exactly.
Hey,
the name.
TOMTSE.
Yeah.
Hey.
No one else went to that. And so they were like, we need someone to sit in on drums, which I happened to play. And then we played a classic Herbie Hancock tune, Chameleon, kind of an iconic meme in the band right now.
Right.
So you guys, so it went from the Crunchy Lemons and your band, but they were, you know, the only members that showed up, which is, I think, a pretty sick name. And that's just like, how quickly did you guys like gel?
Oh,
Like, was it?
I think it was pretty
Was there
quick.
like an
Yeah, it was
instant?
pretty
it was pretty immediate once we started playing, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I think me and Zach both were like, oh my god, this guy's really good at drums.
Yeah,
Thank you,
for
boys.
sure.
That's sick.
And then, well, obviously there's Chuka, who's not even in the story yet.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. And Omer's not in the story yet.
Right.
We'll get there.
Omer joins, like, before we all did.
Right.
Yeah.
The original member.
Anyone want to tell
How?
about Chuka?
Let's let Chuka tell the
Yeah.
story of Chuka.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I mean, first we were an instrumental band for a little bit, and then
Did you guys like record stuff?
Yeah,
Instrumental?
we recorded an entire album and
it
scrapped
wasn't very
Are you
good.
serious?
Yeah,
That's so sick.
Wait, we did?
Yeah,
Yeah. Remember
the
that?
summer and sophomore year.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
Untitled 1 and Breeze was on there.
Our first album wasn't even that good. Like, when did we record
Yeah,
that?
Dude, I don't know. Anyways, Chuka,
Oh,
take it away.
okay. I don't know how much longer, like, after that happened, I came in. Oh, there's a cat.
Oh my god.
There's various animals
Wait,
in
is
the
that,
park.
the, is that the missing
Sick.
cat
Got
with the posters
distracted.
everywhere?
Dude, don't mess with that
I don't
guy.
think so.
But I came in a few months later. I actually went to a private school before going to BHS in junior year, so I knew Jackson and Zach from elementary school. So they asked me to come in and sing with them just to have a jam session, see how everything meshed, just try it out. So I came in, and I don't know, it kind of flowed from there.
What do you sing? What do you sing? All right, no. Like that's like a weird way to phrase it. But, like when you get invited in and you know you know these people, obviously, and you're friends with these people, like, but you've never did you play with them? Like, do you know them in a musical sense or?
I mean, not really. I hadn't seen them in a year,
2 years.
2 years.
Did you come to any Tomtsu concerts before you joined?
I think
We only had like 2.
yeah, I think I might have come like briefly, but I didn't really know anything that was going on. I was definitely nervous, and then they just told me to sing some melodies. So then I just kind of sing some laws over it, but over time it kind of just flowed together, I think.
One thing about Tomtsu is if you're not in the band, like, we have no idea what to do with you. Like, if we're asking someone to make merch, they're like, okay, so like, what do you want for the design? And we're like, right. Or so like when Chuka joined, she's like, okay, so like what should I sing? Like, where do you want these parts? And we're like,
Just
right.
Yeah. So it's like a pretty you're saying it's like everyone's kind of in charge of their own.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
I think
Definitely.
that's why it's so unique.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
we all, like, you could have a band that listens to different music, and they could all play, like, the same
One,
thing.
yeah.
But we are, in a way, both coordinated and uncoordinated. Because,
A kerfuffle.
yeah, we
a
just
kerfuffle.
combine everything.
The individuals are syncopated.
Yeah, into one thing.
These are just like I personally have not taken the SAT, so I don't know what kind of words are there, but like some big words flying around.
One thing I want to say about Chuko, which I'm very proud of, is that when we first started playing with her, we were like, all right, Chuko, come up with a melody. And she's like, I have no idea how to do that. But now we'll be like playing a new thing, and she'll just start spitting bars.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
actually really cool.
It's really great.
We had the first thing we ever played with Chuka was a song that was actually named after Chuka, and if you're lucky, we'll still play it.
Well, no, it's This Is Milk now.
Oh yeah, it's
No,
actually,
it's
well,
different.
it's
called
different.
This Is Milk?
It's different.
Very
It's
No,
different.
that's a different song.
It's similar, but
It was named
Similar.
Chuka Wave. Because we're like this is like
The wave of
the
Chuka.
wave of Chuka. Like, this is like the most Chuka song we've ever written. And so we wrote it, and then Chuka was singing some Lose and some Laws over there. And we're like, all right, like, this is it. Like, this is what Tomtsu needs to be sick.
So that like when did Chuka go from like, oh, Chuka's coming to Tomtsu practice to Tomtsu practice with
Is
everyone.
Chuka.
I think
Like,
it was 128.
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
But
no, 120 existed before Chuka came into the band.
It's true.
Oh, that's true.
There's instrumental videos out.
I
Yeah.
think I actually have like a really clear answer to this question.
All right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't remember the exact date, but a little sentimental, but I remember after practice every week, we all walk home, and usually most of the way it's Jackson, Zach, and I. And I remember there was one day, I think it was a little bit after we had completely written 128 or like had a good grip on it, and Zach like turned to me. I don't know if you guys remember this, but Zach turned to me and was like, I think like this is Tomtsu, like with Max, like this is Tomtsu. So
I think you asked like, so when's the next like, well, like when are you guys practicing next? And I was like, it's not like us guys, like you're like when are we
yeah.
practicing? It was like
So
something.
that's an important moment for me, but yeah.
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 I mean, I remember when the moment where I felt part of Tomtsu personally. That is funny. When was 128 recorded? Like when was 128 like finished?
That was like we
Like the
recorded it
song or
January
the-
sophomore year.
The interesting
Yeah.
thing about 128 is I think it's a song that's taken us the longest ever to write.
Yeah.
I
And
agree.
that's
true?
Is it a group writing effort for words?
Well, it's kind of the same thing where like, yeah, it's a group, but it's also very individual.
Right.
But the first time, remember I was like, I can write stuff. And then I was like,
Words.
this song is about cactuses.
Oh yeah, and then
And
we
it
called
used
it
to be called
Cactus.
It was gonna be
Cactus.
called Cactus, and I wrote like a good portion of the lines in that song.
About cacti.
Yeah, and it was supposed to be like a metaphor. It was starting with the rain because it was like, oh, you're with your friends, you know? Friends are rain and you're the cactus. But you don't need rain because you're a cactus.
Oh.
No, this is an audio thing, so you guys can't see the tear that's flowing down my eye. But, like it's it's there.
No, I
yeah.
think it's cool because we all, what you said, like, we are very individual, but we also work together. So I think we started from that idea, but it slowly shifts from, like, one person to another. And I think, and then at the end, it kind of all came together.
Yeah. Is there anything like or anyone, and you guys don't have to say obviously like specific? Is it written about anyone? Is it written about anything?
The lyrics are super vague.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
we don't
think
really
so.
mean
At the
think that was kind of
beginning,
the-
at the beginning, like our like lyrical writing was kind of like, okay, who has like the craziest idea that we can write down on a whiteboard that actually sounds like kind of decent? And so Max, like, there's this other song we have called Unwound, and like we had this like Max came up with like the craziest story, like
Oh my
it's post-apocalyptic and like
The
volcanoes
watch,
are.
the watch, bro.
Yeah, it
It's
was
the
like something like
grandfather's
you're
watch.
running away from time, but it's like the Matrix, and it was like this totally crazy thing. And like obviously the lyrics, like if you just heard them, like they don't really reflect like these crazy like
I
absurd
think
ideas.
you guys like vetoed my ideas.
Yeah,
No,
for
no,
writing
you and
songs
Chico
at
were
that
like
point.
very into that.
Dude,
Yeah,
I don't
Unwound,
remember that.
Unwound. There's 4 songs with vocals on them on the album. Besides the one where Jackson's like humming along.
Well, that's
I hear you. Listen, I know all the secrets.
Bro.
My
Bless you.
bad.
Bless you.
Bless you, man.
I think there's 4 of them. Right? Am I?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there is.
Tongue Tied, 128, Unwound, and Waiting for You, right?
Correct.
And I checked the stats last night, and it's the least listened to one out of the 4, Unwound. But it is probably my favorite, honestly.
My favorite
Interesting.
too. On that
It
album.
is so sick. It's so cool. It's like, and if you guys haven't heard the album, The Only Members That Show Up, self-titled, if you guys haven't heard it, go, check it out. Even if it's, even if, like, I'm a big rap guy. I have 3 Kanye records and 2 Kendrick Lamar records. Like, I'm big on that specific kind of thing. But I think it really opened a lot of things up for me. And like obviously I kind of start with the surface level stuff, so my 4 favorite songs there started out being the 4 ones with the vocals. Those are probably the most accessible ones, but
for sure.
like I think Unwound is just a superb song. And Max is ripping a Trader Joe's bag, which I'm taking as an act of war.
I needed a
But I
tissue.
think, I think it's a really, really great, a great song, and a lot of like you guys might write about like all like post-apocalyptic stuff and all this stuff that sounds crazy, but it when you listen to it, you apply it to, and that's like, that's what being human is, like just applying everything around to like what you feel.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's how music should be enjoyed. You should interpret it yourself.
Right.
When Chuka says life will give you limes, like that reflects different on everybody.
Wait, was that Unwound?
That's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I do remember writing that. And then you said the hypothetically.
No, you said
Oh, yeah, you
I know, I
said
said hypothetically and then immediately regretted it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the lyrics are cool, and I think there's a Genius page for 128, right?
Yeah,
For Tongue Tied too.
I don't think we made that.
Is it?
Yeah,
And we
didn't
have
make it.
guitar tabs.
Yeah, the lyrics.
Yeah, someone
told me that one of you told me that the lyrics are wrong
Yeah,
for
I did.
128.
For-
told you that. For Tongue Tied, there were.
So when you guys get the
they're
vinyl
pretty
out
wrong.
for the only members of the show, I need the lyric sheet with that too.
I can't say I listen to lyrics of most songs.
Yeah,
I don't
I mean
really
that's
know
the thing.
lyrics.
I don't even know what that's like.
Yeah.
Like I just listen to this. Like I kind of just like listen to music to hear the lyrics and connect to them. And obviously there's songs I listen to without words. I'm gonna butcher the next word, but there's a song. It's like a piano song. It's called. It's spelled Gymnopidie with a like gymnopedie or something.
Oh.
Beautiful song, and it's like one of those songs that I'm not gonna play it because this will be taken down by Mozart or whatever. But just a beautiful song, and everyone knows. Like I guarantee that whoever's listening to this, you guys know the song, and all of you know the song. But it's just a really slow piano song, and like I listen to that, and I always like I listen to music for the feeling, but I'll never be able to know because I haven't played an instrument in a while, but I'll never be able to know what it's like to like go and listen to like the specifics and the underlying stuff outside of like there's an awesome podcast called Dissect which talks about like the meaning of the words, and like in all these different songs it breaks down albums by song, so they have a podcast episode for each song on it. It's a really cool idea, and the guy Cole Kuchna is really sick with it.
Can I just say, Omer talks about not playing an instrument
Yeah, I was
in a
about to say
while. If you really knew Omer,
Oh.
you'd know that he's actually an incredible flautist.
Legit?
Like this dude can play the flute like no other.
Dude.
If you ever get the chance to see this man play the flute, you better enjoy it.
Listen,
because-
I don't think have you ever seen it?
No, that's what I'm saying. Is it's
So you don't know,
it's an
bro.
opportunity that
No,
I have not even.
So my flute.
He won a
career-
competition.
and I got second place twice in the same competition. But I played the flute from age 4 to age 12, and it was a really, 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 really challenging kind of period for musically because I am a champion procrastinator, and when I have to wake up early in the morning to practice the flute, which wakes everybody up, so everyone, older siblings hate me, and my parents are all like get sick of it eventually, so I have to wake up and play this piece by Bach and at 7 in. It's like it is very challenging, and I used to be lazy, and I think I could have been like there's a world in which I go to Berkeley for the flute if I keep playing, but I was lazy with it. I don't regret it. Like I was a flute player for myself, not for and I think a lot of people like there's people I know who play an instrument and they're really, really good, or play a sport, or try really hard in a subject, not for themselves. So I decided at age 12 that like when I wasn't doing it for myself anymore, I just kind of quit, which sounds really sad, but like I still have the flute, like low key, and my mom's probably listening, but like I always played on my mom's birthday, but sometimes I'll just pull it out and like jam out a little bit. I guess I was good for being 12 or being 11, and I got second place twice at the Brookline Music School woodwind competition. But there was always, and it was frustrating because I didn't work hard enough with it. For everyone around me everyone was always like, "Oh, you're so like naturally talented. Go do this," but there was always like kids that were younger than me. Like I'll be like 12 and there's like an 8-year-old that's like insane, and my flute teacher, Amy, would always tell me, like, this is what you could be. Like, this is what you should be, but you just don't care. And then I was like, eventually, I just decided that I have other interests. And I went to play basketball, and I went to, go watch sports. And I went to, now here I am starting a podcast. So, I mean, I don't think if I'm still playing the flute, I have, I have that kind of range of things that I could go into. But I honestly, I wasn't that good, folks. Like, I really wasn't. Like, I did a couple things with it, but if we get to like I don't know, we'll say 5,000 total listens.
What?
I'll play something on, like, I'll put up some audio.
Flute cover.
Oh.
120. We'll get
just the melody, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big like do something for someone's birthday person, so
It's
if we average out all of your birthdays, find me a day and I'll maybe,
December
I don't know.
28th.
But
What?
Chico's birthday.
Oh.
It's coming up.
really?
Yeah.
December 28th.
That's not
28th.
coming up, dog.
That's
That's
in a
like
couple
2
months.
So that's that.
Also,
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
no, go ahead.
okay. I just wanted to say that, like, I feel like if you really wanted to, I don't think you have to play an instrument to appreciate a music for like more than the vocals.
I agree.
Like,
I don't say I don't do that. It's just like I don't go listen to music I listen to music just to listen to music. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I listen, like, I do, like, I don't listen to music for a goal other than to just chill.
I agree. I think
I
it's about the
think
type
I
of
do.
person you are. Wait, what did I just say? I mean, I think it's about like the way. Like, I feel like in some sense it's just how you're born. Like
Yeah.
I've always kind of listened to music the way I do, and like you probably have too.
Yeah. And anytime, and I will say this, anytime I'll hear a song and it has a flute in it, like, I'll be able to like track it and like know the the stuff that he's playing and how to play it. And I think I definitely agree with you. Like, it is a thing that's very personal.
Yeah.
And everyone hears the same music, but everyone feels it differently.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's definitely something.
What I think
I'm
is
done, dog.
alright, what I think is kind of cool though is like when I wrote the guitar part for Waiting for You, and like
Oh yeah.
when I wrote that, like Chuga came over like the same day, and we just like threw my phone down like in the middle of the floor and just like started recording, and like I didn't have to tell Chuka like how I was feeling about the song or like what I wanted it to be, but Chuka just like felt that energy, and was like, all right, like this is a sad song.
Yeah,
Huh.
and I also think that song, I don't know, I feel extra connected to it out of the other songs, but I think everyone hears the same words, but you, like you said before, you interpret it in different ways and you associate it with different situations and people, and I think that's just something that's really, I don't know, like honestly, like really beautiful, and I don't know, yeah.
No, I agree with you.
I gotta say, kind of the antithesis of what you're saying, which is also.
Stop with the SAT words, bro. It's a weekend.
Well, I'm just saying, like, they did that. They do have that connection, and then, but like, we also have the opposite connection in like a lot of songs where Zach will play something, and then like totally, I'll play something, literally that he's like, why would you ever play that over this song? And I'm like, I don't know. That's just how I felt it.
Yeah.
You know,
It
we all-
definitely goes both ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Is there ever like a whiplash moment where you guys like start like
I haven't seen
like
the movie.
I haven't seen the movie either.
I haven't either.
Dog, none of us have seen it.
What do you mean by
no,
whiplash?
Which moment in Whiplash?
No, the moment that I've personally seen, which you guys have no idea what I'm talking about.
I've seen the whole movie.
Yeah, I've
so-
seen that moment.
No, where he's like throwing around the chair and he's like,
Oh, where he's, like,
match
mad?
match my rhythm or something.
Oh, I feel like I'm like that
one,
to them.
two,
Well, yeah. So we're actually
We're
writing a
getting
new
squabbles.
song, And it's like,
is there a
You're
title?
talking about the one we
Nah.
spent 30 minutes on,
we're,
and I
we're
didn't
trying to figure out.
understand
We're
it.
trying to figure out like the time signature, or like where
How to
one
feel it.
was in this riff, and Max felt it
I felt it
where
like
we
on two.
thought what the 2 was, and so we had this whole argument like for half an hour.
I still can't feel it.
And it's just like we just feel it different, and we're gonna have to find a way to like either we're
Figure
gonna
that
feel
out.
Max's way or Max is gonna feel our way.
Or we can
Or feel a
combine.
third
them.
way.
Yeah.
Max will come in on 1.5.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't really. I've never been in a band other than
you're invited to Tomtsu practice anytime.
Low,
Anytime,
chill.
anytime.
Don't tell me like that. I think I don't know. I know what it's like to work in as part of a group for. I was a counselor for the past 2 years for 3rd graders, then 8th graders, and like you're working with there's 30 8th graders, and none of them want to do what you want to do, and you have to figure out how to do that. And just working with other people and not being on the same wavelength is super frustrating. But that's everything about being human. It's like just getting people on the same, like communicating nicely and making sure that everything's and understanding that it doesn't have to be perfect and it doesn't have to be your way. It just has to eventually just come out. And I'm wrong about stuff that I argue with people probably over 50% of the time. And I think that just understanding that it is like compromise is so good in a lot of situations, and just
There's another cat.
I have
you guys were
something.
outside. Yeah.
But I think like with that. Oh.
There's a whole dog here too.
Big
Yeah.
dog. Oh my god.
Dude, that's a whole horse. That's not a dog.
Is that dog of an owner?
Yeah,
Let's
Where
not
they at,
worry
though?
about it unless the
Yeah.
homie comes over.
just run if you
Bro,
can.
that might be a bear, Loki.
Big though.
I think at the same time, during practice, some of my favorite times are when we have kind of moments that are the opposite of that, where, especially with like the instruments besides vocals, just watching, like sometimes we have moments where it works perfectly and you're like,
Right.
oh my gosh, this is what I was trying to get at.
Yeah, you get that
And-
like rush when everything comes
Exactly.
together at that moment.
Yeah.
And I think like we have a new song coming out soon called "This Is Milk," and wait, is it in that song? No. I am wrong.
It's
And
Can You
waiting
Hear
for
Me
you
Dance?
with the instruments.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
He smells
Don't
good.
worry.
You have a
All
caller?
right, now's a great time to talk about how I used to be very, very, very afraid of
Pet
dogs.
him, dude.
bro, what?
No, so I'll
he's
tell you
gone,
in a
he's
very
gone, he's
calm
gone,
voice
he's
so he doesn't make sense.
Oh,
But-
this
This
is
is the song with the break. Why am I forgetting the name of the song?
Can you hear
Can
my
you
Now's
hear
the
my
time to go
thoughts?
to the bathroom.
that
That's
one?
the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah.
The break
just
was
ignore what I
genius.
just said. But in that song, we have a break, and we always do it at different lengths of time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
hilarious.
And so everyone kind of breathes at the same time and begins again. And I think that's one of the moments where I also would say we feel really connected.
Yeah, I feel like nothing feels better than like when we just have just written a new part or something and it like just like works and it clicks and it sounds really cool
Yeah.
and you're just like, damn, this is a whole ass song now.
Yeah.
like we just wrote this song. We go, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, I think I hope I'll be in a band one day and just like get to feel that kind of like, But I know what it's like when something clicks, and I think everyone, like, that's something you can look at, even if you're not in some kind of collective. I think it's super, like, relatable, that kind of click.
That,
Yeah.
Mr. Berman. And I mean, in the voice of Mr. Berman, like, flow.
Yeah.
I haven't been.
Oh,
in
yeah,
Epic
right, you
yet,
weren't
so I
even
don't
there.
even
in
know.
the class. Shout out Mr. Berman.
Yeah.
Shout out Mr. Bourbon of Epic. I think it's super hard when everyone has different expectations, in any situation. Even like this podcast, like I didn't tell you guys much about it, right?
No.
Nothing. Just
like-
like there be sushi.
Yeah, that's I
There was
kind of
sushi.
There
like
was sushi.
lured them over here with the sushi.
Sushi meat?
So Tomtsu,
Guacamole.
what's the future like? You guys know?
Of
Nope.
Tomtsu?
Yeah.
Oh,
No
boy.
We
idea.
kind of just go with it. I feel like we
Yeah.
never really
We
know.
might have a gig in Vermont.
Do you guys think about that?
Oh,
It's kind of like
We all
Like,
know.
it's pretty inevitable that after we graduate
it's not really gonna
Like,
work out.
It's gonna be really hard to get to New Tomtsu, but like I don't think about that, and not because sorry,
Yeah, keep going.
not because like I'm like scared of it, but it's like it's inevitable, and so we might as well just like enjoy like what we have while we
Facts.
have it.
There's a, and I know Zach has seen this movie, but there's a movie called my favorite movie of all time. This is like a big moment here.
Classic.
Napoleon Dynamite.
It's called Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh,
to
that's
see that
great.
Dude, it's so
Dude,
good.
that movie.
If you haven't seen it,
I
I know
don't
the twist, man.
listen. I'm not a big
Don't tell me
cry.
you're
I'm not a big cry. I'm a big supporter of crying. I'm not a. Dude, I haven't cried in so long, but
Dude, same.
that
Really?
movie brought me to tears. Like I really, really, really.
Meet the Robinsons gets me.
I love Meet the Robinsons, but I love Eternal Sunshine. I think it's I told Zach, me and Zach both watched a movie called Her,
oh, that's
and
such
Her's
a good
beautiful.
movie.
And then I
love that
watched,
movie.
and then
Serious?
from there, like I went to like the Netflix like what's similar to it, and I watched Eternal Sunshine, like my
Those are
favorite.
two of the greatest movies like,
My
of all time.
dude, I love Eternal Sunshine.
And Shutter Island, Zach. And
I-
Fight Club.
I'd
Dude,
be
all
actually-
right, but that's like a different.
Yeah,
like,
that's podcast number 2.
yeah. No, we'll
Three,
get to like the
three,
best
three.
like.
Wait, did you have questions you were gonna?
Yeah, what's
ask
the word of
us?
these questions?
Don't worry about it, dog. This is my show.
Wait, we
Don't get on
lost the
that.
tangent.
Yeah.
I think Eternal Sunshine really sums it up. There's a point where, dude, I don't want to spoil it, but like
Don't spoil it.
spoiler alert.
Those-
It's not a
no,
spoiler.
no.
It's not a spoiler.
Oh, okay.
There's a moment where it's dude, Chuka's sitting here with their
Yo, I
fingers
swear
in their
to God,
ears.
I'm a-
This is not a spoiler. This is
Just
no.
a
Listen, no.
spoiler
Take your
alert.
hand. No, it's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler. It's not a spoiler. I realize it's not a spoiler.
Trust him, man.
There's a point where there's some inevitability reached, and then the main character Joel is like,
Jim Carrey.
yeah, no, and Kate Winslet, like her character's name is Clementine, and she's like, so what are we gonna do now? Like there's kind of like this point of like they don't really know what to do, and then they're like, what do we do now? And then this guy is Jim Carrey, and he just like shrugs, and it's like he's like, enjoy it. And they like, and it's just, and then the cinematography afterwards is amazing, but it just hits you so hard, because then you show up and you're like, you know, it's such a and I hate when it gets like, oh, it's a metaphor for this. Like that's what everything I hate about English class, but it is such like you so apply it to yourself, you know, and it's like how many times like in all like relationships, you know, both, you know, as you know, with friends and with people who we consider closer than friends, you're like, how do you enjoy something knowing that it's gonna end? But that's and
Everything's
dude,
gonna end.
I'm tearing up. No, I think it's such a.
You have to.
Everything's gonna end at some point, so why not just enjoy everything?
I think about that a lot.
Tell me something good, you know, full
Right,
circle.
right.
So
Can I ask you something about your whole tell me something good thing?
Yes.
So you say you receive like 10 submissions a week or like whatever, like
Yeah.
like that's awesome. But for some reason, like my question is, why don't you post those? You
I
never like passed on the goodness forwards.
So I've thought about that, but to me it was always like
An anonymous
I don't wanna. It's not even a matter of anonymity. It's just like
SAT man.
it's just like it's kind of like a one-on-one thing. Like I think
definitely
if
it's personal.
it is personal, like some people say personal stuff there, and like obviously I'm not gonna share that. But like some people
Yeah,
are like
right.
some people are like, oh, the climate march was yesterday, which is like perfectly sick. Like that's so cool.
Perfectly sick,
That's
yeah.
tight.
I
Like,
didn't really get it. I've just been saying okay.
Yeah, no, Max does that sometimes. And it's really funny, but it's like, I think not everyone gets it, which I understand why. Like if everyone kind of if everyone was in the same like wavelength as me, I think I'd get 200. Whoa, inner burp right there. I think I'd get 250 submissions each week, but you know I don't care about the number, but it's more about like, you know, how many people can I get to focus on
Good.
the good,
I
you
love
know,
that.
week, that Friday, right? So why don't I post it? I think it is personal, and like I don't want it to be. I think if I post it, then I like then maybe then I'd have to react to it, and I don't want it to be
Oh,
like,
interesting.
look at that, like cool. Like I don't want it to be like that. If I'd post it, I'd just
Right.
put it up
Yeah.
with a nice picture. And that's it. Like, I don't think I would I don't want it to be about me, you know? So like,
I feel that.
I don't want it to be like, I don't want me to be the filter of, like, I don't want to be.
So,
yeah, it's
so by
hard to
asking the
explain.
question, it's less about getting the response and more about thinking, getting people to
Cultivating their
think,
thinking, yeah.
like, what
Definitely.
is good right now?
What's
Yeah.
good?
What's good?
What's good?
Omer, I have to admit, I've always been too scared to reply.
Why? Who cares?
Well, it can be kind of intimidating. 'cause
Tell
it's
me
like-
something.
It
good.
is
My
intimidating.
credit card.
No, I will admit, and there have, like, I haven't been in a position where someone said that exact thing, and you know, but I think I answered question stickers on Instagram like one time out of 10,
Yeah.
maybe. Like, even when it's very general and just asking like, yo, what was the math homework or something, like, I will, like, it is kind of intimidating, but like, sometimes I'll pause it, I'll be like, wait, who cares, you know, like, I'll just, like, I'll answer, even if I don't even know the person, I'll just, like, answer something funny or something. Like, it's just, like, a matter of, like, I think the reason why a ton of people don't reply is, like, either they don't know me or I'm not in, like, I talk to, like, what, like, probably less than 100 people every day, so, like, that's other people that follow me and that I follow that I don't interact with super regularly, so maybe they don't do it, or maybe they don't get it, or, like, I think it is, like, I don't care super, like, I think it's nice, it makes me feel good if people reply, but that's because, like, I just like seeing people being happy, but, like, if it's just making you feel good, that's perfectly tight, like, that's so sick. So that's that. Also, like, it makes me super happy when other people, you guys don't know them, but other people do it, and, like, they, like, tag me in it, it's like, oh, cool, but they do something similar, like, they put, like, either they don't put they put a different picture, like, a different idea behind it, but I think the whole idea, like, spreading the, like, it feels weird to say movement, but, like, just spreading the vibe, you know?
The joy.
Positivity, man.
You're like, honestly, like, you're one of the most genuine people, like,
Yeah,
I
don't make me
know.
cry, homie.
I'm into that. You're just, like, always doing good things.
Yeah.
You're a man, Omer.
You're
a man.
you're a
Bought us sushi for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
you got some good
fun.
panache on you.
mad panache out here.
It's sick. I mean, my mom is huge on karma, which, like, I don't think, like, I kind of believe in it. Like, that's one of the things where, like, I have a bunch of beliefs like that. Like, I think the whole, like, simulation thing might be real, and
I agree.
like that thing, like the karma thing, I think the karma thing is probably the most, like I think if you put out good, you get a ton of good back, and, like, it's
That's true.
usually more than, you know, like, you bring someone, like, tea or something, and they'll, you know, or even you bring someone like, some sushi, and they'll give you, like, you know, an hour of their time or whatever. So I mean, I think it's less about, because, like, I'm super, like, I think the word blessed has really taken, like, a big, like, religious connotation to it, but, like, I feel super blessed all the time because I feel like I won the lottery, right? Like, I was born to two, like, very loving parents, with a loving family, and 3, you know, siblings that are mostly healthy most of the time, and, you know, we're pretty financially stable, and we live in a great neighborhood, and there's a park next to my house, and I have great friends, and, like, for me, it's hard to focus on the bad, because why? Like, I have so much, you know? Like, I have a job that, you know, I really love, and I think that people like me there, and I think I'm really good at it too. Like, I don't want to flex, but, like, I think school puts you in a zone where, like, you have to be good at bio, or you have to be good at math, you have to be good at, you know, even history, English, social studies, digital design, like, any subject you take, it's, like, from a 0 to 100 scale, but there's nothing that tests you on being a people person. And I think I'm a huge people person. And I think it's like I think at Trader Joe's, and shout out Trader Joe's because you're paying me, but I mean, this podcast is no way sponsored by that company, but I do have a lot of love for that, because I think it does give me a place where I could just, like, be a people person without having to get graded on it, which is super sick. And the train of thought has left the terminal side. But I think I do have so much, and I make, and I'm not paying any bills right now, which is super sick. I know there's there's so much for me to be happy about. There's other things that I can choose to be sad. Like I'm not super amazing at school. Like, what just.
What the
What? Yeah.
It's like a whole ass moth or something.
We're outside. Hi. So me again. Probably weren't expecting to have me hop in like this, and I really wasn't myself expecting it. But I had this huge dilemma of whether to edit the podcast or not, and I was leaning towards no, and then I heard it through once, and I was like, oh, like this next segment, like the next part just doesn't work. Short story, long story short, we had a large dog named Bear. Remember we brought up a bear-like figure in the park, and there was a large dog came up with the owner, very nice lady, and we pet the dog. We saw a moth. We talked about cement. It just I don't know, it didn't work. But maybe I'll make a bonus episode and I'll include it, but it just, it wasn't the move. So I'm just gonna skip a couple minutes forward, and yeah, Zach has a question. Let's go. All right, Zach has a question for me.
Do you ever get tired of being so nice? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen you in a bad mood.
I feel that.
Sorry,
You're always out here like getting people munchkins or like just doing nice things. Like,
I think
kindness just like
emanates.
Dog, this is turned into like a
Omer praise session.
yeah, I don't like that. It's weird.
I
I think
you deserve it, bro.
I think I don't I'm it's weird to always think about stuff this way, but I compare myself to other people a lot, and my nose is weird right now. It's like stuffy.
Dude, have some
No,
wasabi,
it's fine. I think I compare myself to other people a lot, and when I look even at my family, I think everyone in my family is just a much, it's weird to say, but a better person than that. My parents have done more for me and for to have sacrificed so much that getting munchkins for someone's birthday is just I don't know, it just seems not even enough. So I think I don't think I want to compare myself to other people, but it's I think that question doesn't really have an answer. I don't see myself as that, so I think I don't get. Do I get tired of being myself? No, I love being myself, but I think it's do I feel? Sometimes I feel it's not enough. Is what I'm saying. So I don't think I don't. I think if I'm working hard, I'll be yo, I'm tired of working hard. If I'm working on an essay, I'll be dude, I'm so sick of this. But if I'm if I'm doing something that is just me, do I ever get tired of walking? No. Do I ever get tired of sitting? No. So
you get tired of walking?
I get dude. If I walked like an Iron Man or something, I'd get tired. But what I'm trying to say is it comes as part of me.
Yeah, I think that's what makes.
So I don't get tired of it.
Yeah.
But no, I get tired, dog. I don't sleep enough. So
Classic high schoolers.
You stay up late doing podcasts in the park.
oh my god, dude. You don't. All right, so I think we should start to wrap this up because it's almost 12. And
do what you need to do, man.
but I think I didn't think this moment would come. So I think that's it's weird to me that this is happening,
Yeah.
Sometimes
me too.
my bar, it's the same thing I have my bar mitzvah. I was wait, I'm doing my bar mitzvah right now. So I think that happens
Nice
when I
Jewish
graduated
boy.
8th grade, right?
I should've worn
So
my
I think
socks.
I think I don't know what to expect. I just hope that there's the message of being happy and like being positive and paying attention to yourself and other people and making the world a better place in the like little amount of time we have. Like there's one thing, there's a video on YouTube by a guy whose name I'm not gonna pronounce. It's called Optimistic Nihilism. It's the first one that pops out. And it's got like a purple. It just, you'll know it when you see it. That's
Kurzgesagt?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah.
Kurz.
In a nutshell.
In a nutshell, right? So it's that movie changed that video changed my life. Like, go watch that now. It's like it really makes the case for like why you should like live your life to its fullest because it's short. Like I don't like.
Right.
I'm the last person who's like, oh, life is short. Go be a hippie, Like go do crazy stuff because life is short. But I do think just like try to make the world a better place while you're here, and listen to my podcast. So that being said, you all have a homework assignment this week, and I know it's a Saturday night, almost a Sunday. It's a thing. Maybe I'll drop this on a Saturday night just so everyone knows. But the homework assignment is to tell one other person about this here environment. And I'm stealing this from the Ross Bowen podcast too. But just, if you liked what you heard, I'll put this on iTunes eventually, maybe, and Spotify and stuff. So if there's a way to like rate it, do that. Like, because I think that helps. Apparently, if it's on, it'll be on YouTube, on Souncloud, so you guys can listen to it while you're doing stuff. Just like it, I guess. Like I don't really know what to say. Just like if you enjoyed it, spread it, I guess. So tell one other person about it. Just one other person. One person. It could be someone you know. It could be someone you don't know. It could be on a train. It could be on a boat. It could be. You could be doing anything while you're doing it. Just tell the person, hey, there's this thing, and then link them, right? It's not super hard, but I think it'll really, 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 like, I think the message, like, it's less about me and more about, the message of, if we have this life, let's be happy, right? And I do want to just say one last, like, disclaimer. I'm going to say one last so many times, but like, I know life is super hard. I don't want this to be like questioning why people are get down. I just think, because I so many like sometimes I'll feel bad and then I'll be like, wait, people, like 3 million kids die each year of diarrhea. Like that's the craziest. Like there are parents who are losing kids and kids who are losing parents. Like why? What right do I have to be sad? But then I also understand that there's so many things that go on in so many people's lives, and I don't want to take away anyone's right to feel bad. So feel bad if you want, but also just let this, hour plus be, and the hours plus to follow, let it be a reminder just to smile sometimes. So that all being said, thank you to Zach and to Chuka and to Max and to Jackson for coming. Whatever platforms is on, I'll link their like social media, so you guys can hit them up and ask them stuff and maybe start your own podcast.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for having us.
So thank you guys for coming out. Thanks for listening, and let's get the show on the road. Thanks for intro music go. Outro music go. Hi, so me again. Just want to say again, thank you all so much for listening. I'm really hope you enjoyed it, and that there was a little bit of a takeaway from it, and that this message and this will live on, and yeah. More episodes to come very, very, very soon. I've got a couple of guests lined up. You all know who you are out there. And so don't forget to fill out the submission form. That will be in the description of this video on YouTube, and it'll be somewhere on the Souncloud page very visibly. And I also post about it on my Instagram. So just make sure to fill out the form. Tell me something good. And yeah, so signing off for tonight. Thank you so much. And yeah, live kindly.